Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another interesting video. Hopefully this time working in a 2002 Ford F-150 Harley Davidson from Tucson, Arizona. Bruce, this is your computer and the dreaded long crank no start. So I already discussed with him what the process would be when he sent a computer here about reproducing the concern first than anything. And I always try to do that with all the components, computers, instrument cluster and everything that comes here. So just let's move into the test. As you see, I have the computer connected. I put the name on it because he didn't send the paperwork with it. I have the information as I normally do, create a folder. Give me just 1 second because I have something else opening here. 2002, right here. Okay. All right, so this is the folder, very short because again, all I have is what we were discussing in our email. So I put them in here. Let me make that bigger. So again, it's Bruce from Tucson, Arizona, and we have the long crank. The computer has the tier tag EK01, and the part number is 2C6A12A650AB. This is the VIN number of the truck, KD29967, which is for me the last digits that we need in case we connect the scanner. And that's it, right? So pretty easy, cut and dry, and we can see the disclosure of the information of the car, 2002 Ford F-150 Harley 5.4 supercharged. I also took a picture of the module before connecting in here, so it has the cover on the back with the EK01, and then I took a closer picture so we can confirm all those part numbers. And that is for the records. I always do that, so there is no misplace or anything of what module I got here. All right, so I think for this one, let me start here because I want you to see the actual plus needle moving. Let me put the full probe, which I have ready. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you guys can see in this image. It's okay. So the way I have the computer connected, I actually move 3 of the spark plugs. Let me just remember. Yeah, 3. I should put 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I put 4 coils in the injectors like that. You will see injector fire, and there is actually coils, and then the other 4 are in the coils. But this software only has 4 injectors and 2 coils, 2 spark plugs. This is a very weird setup, and this company, SEA Electronica from Argentina, they come up with a new software which you can pay for the updates, which are really not really worth for me because they have no vehicles on this market. And the only thing that I was paying update for them is because I was requesting to be able to produce my own cam and crank sensor signals. They have a tone ring software in there, but it's very limited. It is super limited, and you only can do very minimum things in there. So I am very disappointed with this company because this system was very expensive, almost $12,000. And now they come up with, or let's say, the software was like $375 per year. They raised it up to $600 a year, which it was outrageous. Based on what, right? That is almost a 100% increase. Now they went from that $600 to $1,200 a year. So that is, and this is in the last year and a half. So we went from $375 to $1,200. That is a 300 or 400% increase on a software, and they have the guts, or not even know what word will be the correct one, that they come up with a new app look, and they want to charge a separate $1,200 so you can get that they call full probe 2, which is just a different, and you can make this window full screen, and you can have now 6 coils and 6 injectors on the view. So if you want that, we want $1,200 per user. This is just outrageous. So they had the idea that I was going to pay them for software $2,400 and then $1,200 per year on subscription. I'm like, hey, yeah, I don't need to. I don't really. I was able to see the video of what it was coming on that update. It was absolutely nothing. It's just a new look. So I'm really, what am I paying for? No, thank you, but no thank you. Just a little rant on that software that I am using here, but it's very limited on that. The tool is good. Cheap made, it's all plastics, but it's good. All right, so what we have here right now is the computer and my instrument cluster connected. So my simulator has already the ignition on, but you see that there is no on the, let me just show you. Well, let's say on the view you have in the center, kind of like the tachometer or RPM gauge. On the right side of that, you got 4 injectors and 2 coils. On the left side of that, we have 4 analog gauges. The upper ones I have connected, the left one on the top to the battery voltage, and the second one right next to on the top is to the sensor voltage. And you can see right there that we have 0 volts. Why? Because the computer is not powered up. So right here, if you see on the small window when I'm moving my hand, right next to my microphone underneath, I have this box in between to provide the power for the cluster and for the computer. You see the cluster is completely off. I'm going to turn the lamp off so you don't get that reflection. But yeah, everything is off. So what I do is provide a cam and crank sensor signals, which is very unique because I can do that here. Obviously in the car you cannot because you need the engine cranking, right? But I can do it. So what I'm doing right now is providing the signal. I'm going to show you that that is the signal 51, which is the one I use for this vehicle. Is exactly the one that can work on low RPM because there is another one for high RPM. And again, very unique to this tool. But I created a harness and everything for it, so I'm using it. All right, so what we expect to happen is the computer is working good. As soon as I turn, I have 3 switches in here. One is battery voltage, and the other ones are 2 ignitions. So as soon as I put the first one on, the cluster will power up and nothing will happen as far as RPM until I turn the ignition on the second switch. When I do that, we're expecting to see the reaction on these boxes that I have here, which you cannot see too much because, it's in a small window. But we can focus right now, you can focus right now and to see the image on that green screen, which will be right next to the tachometer. All those 6 signals should fire, right? The injectors and the spark plugs, because if the computer is working fine. And then we should see RPM instantly, and it has to be instantly. Actually, those should fire faster than the needle on the cluster will do the sweep. And the only reason this is doing the sweep is because I have no power to it. So it will not do the sweep normally because you have the power connected to the battery on the car normally. So don't expect to have that sweep test on it unless you disconnect the battery for a while. Capacitor needs to discharge internally in the instrument cluster, otherwise it will not do it. But in this case, since it's being unplugged for a while, it will do it. All right, so let me do that. Now that you know what to expect, so I'm going to raise this so you can see the switches again in the small windows. I'm going to put the battery now. You can see the red light. And I'm going to put the ignition in 1, 2. Nobody's home. Nobody's home, and this is exactly the problem that Bruce is describing. A long crank, no start. As we can see here, there is no RPM in the screen, on the oscilloscope, but all the signals are being injected. I have another computer here, mine. Let me get it 1 second. I have another computer here, which is an EK01. I'm going to turn this off because nothing happened, right? So I'm going to unplug Bruce, which is really quick to do here. And I'm going to keep it in here. I'm going to, let me cover some information I have in here. Give me just 1 second, guys. All right, so just want to show you that this is also an EK01, and the part numbers are actually the same, 2C, 6A, 12A, 650AB. Yeah, they're exactly the same computer. And this one has even the cover on the back as Bruce in here. And this one is not even a repair computer, so hopefully it runs. Let me just make sure I can plug it in. So we're going to do the same test. Hopefully it's working. All right, so we're going to do battery on and ignition in 1, 2. You see, that one is actually working. So this is what we're expecting to see. Before even you see the needle on the RPM move here, we already got the signals in there. So is this computer working 100%, right? So no need to do anything more. I can unplug it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you that everything that I'm providing is working as it's supposed to. So there is no misunderstanding. Was he producing or putting the correct signals and the computer should have fire or not? I am very transparent and I want to leave no doubts to anybody. All right, so again, one more time, Bruce. Battery, ignition in 1, 2, nobody's home. You can see the cluster doing the sweep. It finished the sweep, no reaction ever. I'm going to put this computer away, my computer. And sometimes these computers, you leave it a while connected and it runs. And that's why he has in there the long crank, no start. Sometimes it's a long crank to start, but in his description, he's put long crank, no start. So I suspect that he has already a big problem. And very common on these vehicles when this is happening is the analog to digital converter. That is a very expensive component. That component alone, you see, that's why I didn't want to put it because it goes very big. Let me take this out for now, because in the next part, when I repair the computer, if it can be repaired, which I have all parts in stock, you will see also the signals in here because these actually are the load boxes where all the injectors and coils are connected. So you will see those signals coming even faster here than in the image on the screen, because the image is just a representation of what's actually happening software-wise, right? So it has a little lag time, maybe a little less than half a second, but it's definitely faster than the instrument cluster. So I'm trying just to give you all the ins and outs of what my test facility and simulator do, so you understand more of what kind of test I'm doing. But yeah, so in the middle, I am also keeping you here because the signals are in there. You can see this light flashing in here. This is part of the simulator, all these boxes in here. And the RPM signal is being injected. Nothing happened. The computer is not reacting to it. All right, so I was saying this is most of the times is the analog to digital converter, and that component alone is $1,000. And as a component that I don't make components. I'm just repair computers, right? So I have to just go along with whatever the supplier that has the component charge for, because I already tell them, like, dude, if you keep increasing this more, I would not be buying more because I just can't. This is just already outrageous. That component should be no more than $60, even $200, $300. This will be, and it was at $300 in the beginning. But he is taking advantage, and he's probably knowing that it's running out of components because I don't think he makes them either. And he just bought the whole batch because I've been looking everywhere and nobody else has it. So we're in the mercy of that. And I hope that he has a lot, because it's a lot of these vehicles are still on the road and they're being rebuilt and repainted. And as long as I can fix this computer, they will stay on the road. And I hope I can do that for a very long time. All right, guys, let me do the repairs and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I finished the repairs. Let's do the same test. This time I'm going to do it with you. Well, let's do it the same way, then I'll show you the other way here. So let's do it the same way we did here. I'm going to put the full probe so you see exactly what we had before. You see the computer is now fully open and repaired. All right, so let's do the battery switch first, and then ignition in 1, 2, 3. That is exactly what I am expecting to see. A fully repaired computer. You see, those signals are even showing before we can get to see the RPM in the cluster. So I'm going to move now these views. So, not that one, this one. And I'm going to make I'm going to turn the signal in the computer off completely here. I'm going to make this image smaller. And I'm going to put it here. Let me make this a little smaller. I'm going to turn the lights off so you can see those signals, because right now, again, all the signals and everything is being ejected, but I have not powered on the computer. So we have the RPM being supplied by the simulator, but no response from the computer. Obviously, it's off. So I'm going to, again, battery, and then ignition, and 1. What I want to see is, let me power this off 1 second. So what I want you to show you is that even before we can see the response on that software, you will be able to see the values or the firing of the signals in here. Why? Because this is directly connected. This will be like the injectors in the coils connected directly to the computer. The software is actually reading those signals and then sending it over to the computer, which and then interprets it in that software that we're seeing. So that is the lag, the delay that I'm telling you. So we will see those reactions first here, and then half a second response in here. And that's what I'm wanted to show you. All right, so battery, ignition, and 1, 2, 3. You see? All firing in there, but nothing in here. So everything is exactly as I tell you, and they're all connected into this bottom one because of the way that I have it connected. So all the A signals are, you can see green and blue, and the upper one is not being used because of the way that I have it connected, but everything is working 100%. All right, so this is just a short video that I'm making for this customer and for you guys too, because I want you to see that I am the expert on this computer. There is no other repair facility that can give you the service that I do. I have customers from California, which they have sent computers lightning, and so probably because they try to, or somebody else charge cheaper than what I do, and they end up coming in here. Why? Because it's like they just took my money. I got the computer back, and it's doing exactly the same thing, and I just lost an X amount of money. So was that cheap? No, because when I send a computer, it's fixed. And if the component fails, you are having 100% warranty, no charge, no questions asked whatsoever. My Salazar Diagnostics warranty is excellent. And you can see my reviews in Google. Look for mysalazardiagnostics.com. I'm going to put my website title in the, my website. Not a link because I cannot do links on the title of the videos, but you can copy and paste it from there on your browser and you will find my homepage. Look for me in Google. And you see how customers are giving me only 5-star reviews because of this. It's a peace of mind. I'm showing you the before and after. The computer working 100%, no issues. And if something is bad, I don't hide it. I go and I record a video. Second time this computer is here. Yeah, the analog to digital component fail, which has happened only on 2 computers in the last 4 years. So I can say that they are really bulletproof. What the component was damaged because of the component failure or something in the truck, it was impossible for me to determine, and I cover it up 100%. Why? Because if it's not burned, I am covering. And I'm being a little careful because these components get damaged more for spikes of voltages, and so, but it's very impossible for me to determine. So I'm always in the mercy of that, and hopefully you guys understand because that is a very expensive component that it can really hurt me because I am not selling the component. I am giving you the same price I get it and installing it in your computer. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.